Hi, I'm Tim Johnston, and I would like to show you how to dismount and mount a 19.5 using the rotary R146. Now we've already broken the bead down, we've already lubed both sides, the front and back bead. We're going to use our metal mount head. It's a little more rigid. It would be better for a stiff tire and steel wheel combination like this. So I'm going to drop my head down. I'm going to use my adjustment knob here to make sure I've got a small couple millimeter gap between my dismount head and the tire and wheel itself. I'm going to use my bar. I'm going to pull the bead over just as you're changing any other tire. If it does give you trouble, we can always use a press arm to make sure that the tire stays in the drop center and make that a little bit easier to pull over. And then we want to make sure we keep a hold of our bar. We get our press arm out of the way, and then it's just going to dismount like any other tire. So we've got our top bead off, and this tire is really heavy, and it's going to be very challenging to get a bar down in here for the bottom bead. So I'm going to get my demount head out of the way, because I'm not going to use it for this. Now we're going to take our bead roller and we're going to move it in just so it touches the wheel. I'm going to lift this up, and then I'm going to have to come over to this side, and I'm going to have to pull the tire and kind of push it towards that bead roller, and you'll start to see the toe of the bead, the edge of the bead creep up to the wheel. And then I'm going to use my bar for leverage. I'm going to put it inside this slot, and then instead of pushing on my pedal, I'm going to pull this bar towards me, and I'm going to lift up on my rotation pedal. And you should be able to see some daylight creeping in. We'll want to push up just a little bit more. Now we have a good gap. Lift up on our pedal and peel our tire off. All right, tire's off. We're going to put tire back on. We're going to lube everything up, paying close attention to the sharp inside edge of the bead. That is called the toe of the bead, and we want to make sure that that is well lubricated, especially since we're using a steel wheel. So we're going to slide our tire up into position. I'm going to move our mount head into place, lock it in. Again, we're going to go over the back and under the front, just like any other tire. First bead always goes on very easily. Then we're going to do the same thing here, over and under, but I'm going to need to use a press arm for a little bit of traction and to make sure this stays in the drop set. Then I can start to rotate the tire. It should stay underneath my mount head. And there we have dismounted and mounted a 19.5 using the rotary R146 Super.